On today's episode of Staples and Tents, we're going to show you our single person camping setup using our REI Kingdom 6. Foundation of any good setup is your tent, so make sure you start with a good tent and lay out your footprint. Now, I prefer to roll my tent when packing it up because it makes setup so much easier. So now I'm just going to lay out my tent along the footprint. A pro tip for me is I take my shoes off. That way I can walk on the surface and not worry about damaging my tent. Now that the tent is laid out, I just need to gather the poles and assemble them. Next, I like to clip the tent. Take all of the clips and clip them to the poles. I do this before I pop up any of the poles. Just because I'm so short, it's easier for me. Now there's just one last pole, so after I get that assembled, I feed it through the middle and then attach the clips to the middle pole. Once all the clips are attached, now it's time to pop up the tent. Now during this part, if I pre-stake the footprint, it's a lot easier to pop up the tent. Pre-staking the footprint really does give the tent a little stability, especially when you're setting it up by yourself. Now that the tent is set up, it's time to set up the inside. I like to store all of my inside stuff, the soft stuff, my rugs, my tables, in the same bag, and that makes setup really easy, organization really easy. The first thing I add to the inside of the tent is an outdoor rug. This serves multiple purposes. One, during cold weather, it helps to provide a little insulation so you don't get as much condensation. But it also just keeps you more comfortable so you're not walking on the cold, hard ground. The next throw that I put down is really just for decoration. It's a thin blanket, packs up small, and it just provides a nice aesthetic to the tent. So then I add a doormat, just something to step on as I come into the tent. In case my shoes are muddy or dirty, I don't want to track all that dirt inside of the tent. Ideally, you would take your shoes off outside of the tent, but that's okay. Can't go camping without my X-Ped Mega Mat. This is the most comfortable. And I also have an X-Bed system. This one is the 2-person sleep system setup, but I just fold it under for a single person setup as well.
So I'm gonna show you all my tent setup in here. Nothing fancy because it's just me, and you know, I was prepared to have to hike this stuff in or drag it in with my wagon I call R2D2, and it was like, yeah, take the least amount of stuff that you got to, because it's gonna suck. And it's hot. It's July 31st. And we're getting ready to do the fireside chat. So just a real quick walk around before I head out to go and get the rest of the supplies for today. Over here you can see I got my tent. Over here you can see I have my sleeping bag, my Nemo, on my mattress, which we love the X-Bed. So this is the X-Bed single and highly recommend it. And of course we got a floor mat so that way we can walk around and feel comfortable and not have to worry too much about stepping on things that are underneath that would otherwise be like, ow. Journal and book, magazine, charging station. Love these Gold Zero crush lights. I also have our table. Always have something to set stuff on. And underneath, my toiletry bag, some water, and my Trichology chair. I love to have a chair inside of the tent. Just helps to get dressed, somewhere to sit, read when it's raining or otherwise. And of course my toilet, my fan, and my luggage. And a mat to step onto when we walk in the tent, just in case we have to step in with our shoes on. Always want to be able to step onto something that can be easily cleaned later. That's it. Nothing much.